welcome back to my channel. Kathleen here. In today's video we are going to be recreating something that's elegant, timeless, so whether or not you have a special occasion to go to or you just want a soft natural glow. And we're going to be recreating none other than Naomi Watts. So if that interests you, continue watching. So while I'm doing my makeup, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about Naomi Watts's skincare line, which is called Stripes. And she created this line of skincare specifically for women going through menopause. And she so happened to go through menopause when she was like in her late 30s, and she saw the changes that occurred from menopause with her skin. So she created this line specifically for women going through menopause. So I'll be talking a little bit about that, and I'll be giving you some pricing along the way. One of the key things is using a hydrating moisturizer on your skin, especially if you're going through menopause. I noticed that when I was going through menopause. That's the first thing that I noticed, and my skin got incredibly dry and it looked like I had so much texture on my skin. So in today's video, I'm just going to be using a primer and a moisturizer, and I'm going to be using this one here from Bobbi Brown. I would say that dryness is probably the #1 thing I noticed when I was going through menopause. It was everything just kind of dried up. And I remember going to a dermatologist at the time because I saw such a drastic change in my skin. And that's when I was first introduced to using retinol, which helped a lot. So if you've never used a retinol product, I highly recommend that you talk to your dermatologist about going on one that's either prescribed by them or see which one they would recommend to you. I can let you know what I use, but I do recommend asking your dermatologist. So she uses a lot of tinted moisturizers on her skin. So again, it's more about less is more. She doesn't use anything too heavy on her skin. I already have my brows done and I have an eye primer on already. So I'm just gonna go in, and really what I'm gonna do is just a very minimal eye. So some of the key products that she has, I'm gonna be looking at my phone so I can let you know the price, is Do As I Do. It's a brightening, hydrating face cream and it retails for $80. Rejuvenating Night Cream is another one she has, and that also is $80. And the Power Move, which is a hydrating plumping facial serum, which retails for $85, and Bag of Honor, which is a hydrating gel, which retails for $50. So everything is pretty affordable. I have never used these products, so there is a lot of fragrance in our products. So if that's something that bothers you, you may not, this may not be a good fit for you. So she always goes for a lightweight, dewy, radiant type of makeup finish. So I'm going to be using this one here from Tarte. And it is the BB Blur Tinted Moisturizer. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go in, I'm going to use just a tiny bit, about that much, and I'm going to go in and I'm going to just go all over and blend this into my skin. I like this because it's very pore blurring. It really does blur out the pores. So if you have large pores, especially in like the cheek area or around your nose, your chin, or your forehead, you will see a noticeable difference using this foundation. And I'm going to be looking down here just so I can see how I am blending this in. So you can see how lightweight that is. And it has a nice sheer finish to it. So you can see the difference between this side and that side, but it's not completely covered. Let's go over here. Now, I will go in and touch up some of the areas that need a little extra help. Like I have some broken capillaries, I'll go in there and I'll be using a concealer on that. So Naomi often opts for a very soft, natural, smoky eye. Nothing too heavy or nothing too harsh, which again, I totally agree with that. Like the last thing that I need on my eyes, my mature eyes, is something that's gonna add a lot of heaviness and texture and just kind of darken it up. So I'm looking just to open up the eye. So I love this palette. I've talked about this many times. I use it on just about every wedding that I work on. And it's the Patrick Ta palette, okay? It's a beautiful neutral palette. It has one side are all warm tones, the other side are all cool tones. So depending on what the look that you're looking for, you can see all these beautiful colors. So what I'm going to opt for today is I'm just going to use these two colors right up here. okay? Because again, I'm going to keep it very neutral. So I'm going to go in and I'm just going to use this one across the entire lid just to even out. And then I'm going to go in the crease and go with a little bit deeper, but it's almost going to be like skin tone. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to take this brushes, the Smith 230 brush, okay? I'll go in and take that first color and just completely go across that entire lid, blending that out. Now, I've only seen a couple of Naomi Watts' movies. I saw King Kong, which I loved her in that. And the other one was Birdman, that I also loved her in that. But she's got that, she has a very interesting face, I think. You know, she's very pretty. She just is like somebody that you would know, right? She's not like, I don't know, like she doesn't look perfect. She's got a really cute smile. She has really nice, I don't know, like she has a nice haircut. She started a campaign it's called Reframe Menopause as Empowerment, which is pretty cool. The name of the campaign was Hotter Than Ever, which is a great title. I remember when my mother was going through menopause, and she would always say that she's going to write a book and she's going to call it My Cherry Has Fermented. And I think about that every time I have like a hot flash or I have a symptom from menopause. Like, it just is like one of those things where there's really not too much you can do about it. There are some things that they can do, but if you're if you're not a good candidate for like HRT or anything like that, really basically you just need to suffer through any of the menopausal symptoms. Now, I can tell you that if a man had menopause, there would be a million things on the market to treat menopause, right? But of course they don't. So a lot of her products you can find on Amazon. She also has a website, which I will leave linked down below. But she has a post-shower body oil that it's on sale actually right now, and it retails for $52. It's originally $65. She has a Glow Up from Toe Up. It's a 3-piece set that retails for $64. The Power Move Hydrating Facial Serum, which retails for $68. Oh, and then she has a Dream Date Sleep Support Supplement, which retails for $32. And I'm assuming that this maybe has something to do with like hot flashes. Hydrating Cleanser that's on sale from $38 to $30. Oh My Glide Moisturizing Vaginal Lube, which retails for $36, which is originally $45. And then there's a whole nighttime skincare routine bundle, which retails for $205, which was originally $241. Oh, and she also has a Meno Hair Essential Bundle, which retails for $77. And well, it retails for $90, but it's on sale for $77 now. So with these products, she's just really offering us some relief to some of the menopausal symptoms. And you know, I think when I was growing up and I used to hear my mother talk about it, it was just one of those things where it was just like, suck it up and deal with it. Like, it's just part of life and you're gonna have to get used to it. It's kind of like just with our period, right? Suck it up, deal with it, like it's just part of life. And I think anytime that there's some relief that we can get through going through some of these symptoms, then I think it's just absolutely, that's perfect, right? We should really talk about it more and have open conversations about it. In my day, the only thing that I could take when I had my period was Midol. And I remember, like, the week before I would get my period, like, this deep, big, dark cloud would come looming in over me. And I used to think I was going crazy. And I used to also think, like, I'm just gonna muscle through it and stop being a baby and I'm gonna control how I feel. And I couldn't, I really could not. Like, the hormones just kind of took over my entire body. And I would be fine after a week, but then, you know, the cycle would continue, you know, month after month, year after year, just thinking that I was like crazy. All right, so I have that shadow across both lids. All right, so now I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna go with that little bit deeper color. Where is she? Right here. And just go in there and just kind of deepen up the crease a little bit, just to kind of push back any hood that I might have here. She has a little bit of a hood, and the makeup creation that I'm gonna be following is this one up here. I'll leave a picture of it right up here. And I like that because it's just very natural, it's very minimal, it's nothing too crazy. You can take that to a nighttime look if you want by just adding a red lip or just adding like a slight wing onto your eye, and just maybe popping on a lash, just like the corner lash at the end. All right, so I'm gonna go in, I'm just gonna go in and deepen up this corner a little bit. And I'm using this BK Beauty brush here, this blender brush. And you can see how that just kind of deepened up that corner a little bit so it doesn't look so flat. I'm gonna concentrate out here, bring it up, and then just kind of sweep it over a little bit. Go in and do the other side. I love these BK Beauty brushes. If you're in the market for new makeup brushes, you cannot beat these. And also, I'm also gonna leave in the description box below is the link to my Healthy Glowing Skin and Healthy Hair Guide that you can download, and it just has a list of all of my favorite products that have really helped me with my skin as well as my hair to kind of keep it healthy and glowing. Okay, so that's about it. All I'm gonna do, I might take that bigger brush that I went in and just to kind of blend it out a little bit. I'm gonna go in there and sweep around in there a little bit. Okay, so if I was gonna go out at night, I probably would take like a shimmer and run that across my lid, okay? But this is more of a daytime look that I'm gonna do. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna tightline. I'm gonna use this brown pencil, which I feel like brown is very softening on my mature eyes, so I don't like anything too black or heavy. So you can see it's a pretty neutral brown, right? And it's smudgeable too, so I can go in there and smudge that if I want, if it gets too dark across my waterline. So I'm just gonna go right in here. You see the difference, how that just added a little bit more depth from that eye to this eye over here. And I just really ran that right across the waterline. So I'm gonna go in over here and do this one. So in 2023, she married Billy Crudup, who I absolutely love. And I fell in love with him watching the morning show on Apple TV. I don't know if you've seen that, but it's a great show, great series, I should say. And then do me a favor, comment below, let me know what your favorite movie is by Naomi Watts, or Billy Crudup too, either one of them. Okay, so that's pretty much about it. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna curl my lashes, and I'm gonna take these, this lash curler here, okay? And I'm just gonna go in and lift up those lashes. And again, this is something that if you've never done before and you have really straight lashes, it will just open up your eye more and just you'll look more awake just going in there and lifting those lashes up. I see women with poker straight lashes that go straight down, and when they use a lash curler, it makes like a world of difference on their lashes. So it really depends on how. If you have really curly lashes, you don't really need to worry about it, but if your lashes are super straight, this is just another really anti-aging thing that you can do to kind of just open up your eyes. Also, comment below, let me know what is your favorite supplement or thing that you do to get through any type of menopausal, whether it be with your skin or your mood or just really anything in general that has to do with menopause. Sometimes you need to go back in with the lash curl and get those corners, like they have a tendency to slip out when you're going in there. You can just kind of move the lash curler over here. And this is the Tarte lash curler. I love this one. It's not hard. Some of the metal ones feel like they're gonna crack your lashes. This one is very soft to feel on your lashes. So again, just take a stand back, look, evaluate, make sure that your ends of your lashes are curled up too, okay? Okay, I'm gonna leave them for right now. I'm not gonna put the mascara on because I am gonna go in and I am gonna use this, this is the Tarte Shape Tape Blur concealer, which I am absolutely loving. It's lightweight. I'm going to show you how it kind of comes up like so. All right, you see how it has like the way that it's shaped, so you really can get into some of those more challenging areas. And the color is, what is the color? Light medium, okay? Looks like so. I'm going to show you on here. Can you see how creamy that is? Just very, very creamy. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm not just gonna run it across my entire under eye. I'm gonna go in. Now I have dark areas in here, okay, that just kind of just make my eyes look tired for the most part. And then up and through here. And you can see where I need concealer. Like, you see the darkness here and then in here. So I'm gonna go in, I'm just gonna take that there. I'm going to pull that out here and I'm going to bring that down just a tad. I'm going to take this concealer brush here and I'm just going to go in and I'm going to tap that in. Just tap it lightly. And I'm gonna bring it up. And then bring this down and just kind of tap them right into the center of my eye. And if you do have a dry under eye, using Aquaphor underneath your eye before you go in there with the concealer will help, so it doesn't look dry and cakey underneath there. So at different times my under eye gets dry. So if I'm using a retinol product and I use like maybe, I don't know, I upped it, like a lot of times I'll get dry under my eye there, so I'll have to go in and just needs a little extra help. Okay, so you can see the difference, right? I look less tired on this eye, right? So I'm gonna go in over here and I go right in here and get that piece, bring it down slightly, and then here. But it's very blendable. You can use your finger too. If you don't have a brush, you just take your ring finger and just gently tap it into the under eye and bring it across. But you can see it doesn't really crease underneath the eye too much. It sets nicely, but yet it's not drying. So she actually wore a hormone patch, which is something I've never done. Has anybody out there worn a hormone patch when they were going through menopause? And she wrote a memoir, dare I say it, everything I wished I'd known about menopause. And talking about the early menopause fertility struggles, taboo topics, an ultra romantic moment when Billy confronted her about her hormone patch. Okay, so let's go in, and I am going to take, now I feel like I look really pale, and I feel like I look better when I have a little bit of like bronzing going on my skin, but you can also just go in there and put some blush on if you wish. But I'm gonna go in, and I love this product here from Rare Beauty. Again, it's one of those things where I'm using, I just bought another one. It's a darker shade, actually it's a warmer shade. And I'm using it on just about every wedding that I'm doing. It just blends out so nicely, so whether you're mature or you're young, you can get away with wearing it. So I'm just gonna go in here, I'm gonna put like 2 dabs here, some here, and I'm just gonna add a little bit dimension up here, okay? And I'm just gonna take this brush and I'm gonna blend this in. Now watch how nicely this blends in. And just kind of keep it up high. I don't need to bring my bronzer down low on my face because it will just drag everything down. So I'm looking to lift it up. You see how easily that blended out? Right? And I'm gonna go up here and just tap that in. Don't mind my roots popping through. I'm going tomorrow to have my hair colored, and I definitely need it highlighted. So, okay, we're just gonna keep blending that in. It's a dream to blend in, it really is. So, she really knocked it out of the park with these products. And even the blush, which I'm gonna show you in a minute, goes in. So you can see how that just kind of brightened up my face without it being too much. And then I'll just take whatever's left here and I'll come across my jowls down here and blend it in, okay? And then I can kind of bring it down on my neck a little bit. Where is the blush? Oh, here's the blush. So the blush here, this color here is called Gentle, okay? And then this one here is called Believe, okay? And this is a cooler tone blush, which the way that I match up my blushes is I match it up to my lip color, right? Can you see how close this is to my lip color? But if you're changing your lip color and you're gonna use a different lip color, you can take your blush and just match it up to your lip. So I'm gonna go in and I'm just gonna take a dot up here. I'm gonna keep it up high, actually 2 dots, and 1 here, okay? Then I'm just gonna take this fluffier brush here and go in. And these are my, what are these? These are my classic base. This is my Sonia G brush. And I'm just gonna go ahead and pop that in. And I like cream blushes on my mature skin because it just looks hydrated. It doesn't look heavy and powdery on my skin. And keep it up high. Here we go. You can see on this side how nicely these blend in. I'm sure you did bring that down a little too low. And I have a tendency to do that when I'm on the camera because I want you guys to see. But I usually keep my blushes up high up here. But no fair, I'll go in and take it down here. Yeah, I don't like my brush down that low. Okay. Okay, so you can see how nicely they blend out, right? So, okay, let's go in there and use a mascara on my lashes. And I am going to use this mascara here from Wonder Skin, and it's brown, and I'm really liking using a brown mascara, which I haven't done in a long time, and I don't know why. I used to wear brown mascara all the time, but I'm liking the way that it just looks softer against my skin tone, more my mature skin. So I'm going to go in, and I'm going to go in and just kind of lift that up. Now, if I was going out at nighttime, I would go in and use a black mascara. I probably wouldn't use a black liner on my eyes because I don't like the way black looks. Just makes me look hard, but I love the brown. Okay, so you can see how that just kind of lifted it up, and the curled lashes just really opened up that eye a bit. And this mascara I love it. It goes on very easily. It feels very hydrating on my lashes. It's not a tubing mascara, but it comes off nicely, but it gives my lashes a lot of lift. I have to go in and touch up my brows. I kind of went over it with my foundation, so I'm going in there and touching them up. Okay, so you can see it's a very neutral, natural, soft look. It's nothing too hard. Now I'm going to go in and I'm going to do a very neutral, I'm going to use this color here. It's called Fluffy. It's from Westman Atelier, and you can see it's a very soft pink color. Okay, and I'm going to go in and I'm going to define my lips a little bit more, and I'm going to use this pencil from MAC, and it's called Stone. Okay, and you're going to see how dark that is. But what that's going to do is I'm just going to, because of my mature lips, my line has completely faded across my lips. So what I like to do is go in there and just darken it up a little bit. So I'm just going to go in, I'm going to go right on my lip line and go in there just to deepen it up a bit. You see how that just added a little bit more definition to my lip? Now, I'm not going to leave it like that. That's a very 90s look, but I'm going to go in and I'm just going to take my lip. I'm just going to take my pinky, I'm going to take my ring finger and just kind of soften that up. And I'm not going to be too careful about it. I'm just really going to dab it on there and kind of smudge it out a little bit. And that's just going to give my lips a little bit more fullness without there being a noticeable line. And you'll see when I go to put the lip color on, like, really not going to see that. Okay, so let's go in there with the soft pink color. And that is the color Fluffy. Now, if I wanted to dress it up a little bit more, like if I was going out at night, what I would do is I would go and I would use, now she loves to use this color, what's it called? If she's gonna be on the red carpet, she uses this, or has a nighttime affair that she's going to, she uses a color called Dragon Girl, and it's from NARS, and it's a red lip pencil. I'll leave a picture of it up here in case you're interested. But it's a beautiful color. It looks great on her. I have a tendency to stay away from red only because, I don't know, I have a hard time wearing it. I just feel like it's always going into my lip lines, or it's on my teeth. So I have a tendency to stay away from it. But maybe you don't. Maybe you really enjoy a red. So I'm going to show you what a red lip would do to this whole entire makeup look. So the red I'm going to use is this color here. It's called Dash, and it's from Westman Atelier. And it's a beautiful red, okay? It doesn't have a lot of orange in it. It leans more towards a cool red, so depending on your skin tone, you might like a cool red. Usually cool reds look good on anybody, so kind of leaves the guessing work out of it. If I was going to use a red that had like a lot of yellow and orange in it, it would just really it would go against my skin tone, so I typically don't do that. And can you see how that just kind of changed the entire look? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hop up the camera, I'm going to do my hair, I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you everything, what it looks like with my hair done. Because hair plays a big part in it, that's for sure. Okay, I'll be right back. And I want to show you exactly why I don't wear red lipstick. Can you see where it settled? It came all in through here, okay? And this is a beautiful color, and obviously you probably don't have the same issues I do with these frown lines here, but it goes right into there and it sinks right down into there, and then I'm so yeah, so there you have it. That's a red lip. Comment below, let me know what lip you like better. On you, not necessarily me. I think we all know that the more neutral, lighter color will look better. And yeah, just to kind of recap everything, yeah, if you're struggling with menopause, yeah, just make sure that you're talking to somebody about it and there are more options out there for relief, and just, you know, take care of yourself, pamper yourself a little bit more. There are some really nice skincare products that you can use, and, you know, body care products that will just make you feel better. And just remember, you're not going crazy. I thought I was for the longest time. And what else? Oh, and don't forget to grab my guide. It's in the description box below, and it just really gives you all of my healthy skincare products and my healthy glowing hair care products. And yeah, and I'll leave all the links to the products that I use today down below, as well as some of the products that she uses, which are more like tinted moisturizers and whatnot, and very, very light. And she uses the Dragon Girl from NARS lip color. So anyway, I hope you gained some value. If you did, please consider subscribing, giving this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.